欢迎收看 Play In。在本期节目中，我们将带您回顾4月7日举行的第4届绿山日。Play In 亲临高桂临港活动中心，目睹参与者在冰上举行的活动，来提高市民对绿山日重要性的认识。4月24到30日是全国志愿者周，这是一个多么完美的时刻，来赞美我们的肾脏基金会志愿者们。在本期节目中，我们将向您介绍肾脏基金会的志愿者艾瑞克凯，他将会与我们分享在肾脏基金会做志愿者热情背后的故事，以及为什么通过志愿服务回馈社会对他而言如此的重要。不要走开，精彩节目尽在 Play In。
Hi everyone, thanks for joining us here today on Plugged In. My name is Ramya, Hosak, Director of Philanthropy for the Kidney Foundation, BC and Yukon branch. Today I'm excited to have Eric Chi here with me. Eric is the Director of Physician Services at the Fraser Health Authority and volunteer for the Kidney Foundation, BC and Yukon branch. Eric, thank you for being here and welcome.
Thanks for having me, Ramya. I'm really excited to be able to speak about my experiences and the involvement I've had with the Kidney Foundation.
I am as well. Let's get started.
Right.
Eric, how long have you been volunteering with the Kidney Foundation?
I've been volunteering with the Kidney Foundation since approximately 2019.
Can you take us back to the beginning and talk about how you first became involved with the foundation?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a journey. I have a brother who has a kidney condition and ended up with a renal transplant recently as of this summer. And his diagnosis and kind of care path started back in 2014. And after he came out of the hospital, we were both debating, how can we raise awareness for this type of condition? Because it's tough to go through this type of situation with our family, and how can we just do whatever we can, whether it is handing out pamphlets, whether it's trying to get involved at a bigger scale, whether it's going out and talking to people. We were brainstorming, we were thinking about what we could do to get involved, and that's when I stumbled upon the Kidney Foundation, and both of us did, and we were like, hey, let's get involved in some way. So we started spamming emails and calling people, and eventually we got a hold of people and started to get involved.
That's amazing. So what was your driving motivation to become involved as a volunteer?
I think really is the raising awareness portion of it. We want to contribute in any way we can, and myself as well in these roles that we're playing, just to make the Kidney Foundation a household name, similar to, you see the commercials about BC Cancer and the Heart and Stroke Foundation, and I think given how many people that kidney disease impacts, again, just want to make it a household name. Anything we can do to contribute towards that really drives me.
You kind of alluded to it a bit, but why don't we go a little bit deeper? There is a very personal side to your volunteer journey. So can you share a little bit about your connection to kidney disease?
Yeah, again, back in 2014, my brother was hospitalized and nobody really knew what was going on. It turned out he had IgA nephropathy, which is an autoimmune disorder where the body essentially attacks the kidneys. And he was 27 at the time, I was 24, and when we were both very just confused, scared, and we didn't know what was going on. So he had a hospital stay at Surrey Memorial Hospital, and his care at the high acuity unit for the week that he was there was really exceptional. And the nephrologist we had, Dr. Daniel Schwartz, was just a fantastic communicator, great person, and to this day he still takes care of both of us. And I say both of us because after my brother was discharged from hospital, there was the understanding that he may continue to deteriorate and potentially have to go on to dialysis, whether it's peritoneal or hemodialysis. And during that process, there was a question of whether there was a potential for a living kidney donor. So eventually my brother did go on peritoneal dialysis, and he was on it for about 2.5 years. And during that time, I went through the living kidney donor process.
What did you find out during that process?
Well, it was a little bit daunting. I think what the main thing that I found out during that process was that it's not going to necessarily impact the donor as much as people think. And obviously you're thinking, I'm giving away one of my 2 kidneys. It's really gonna change my life. It's like, am I gonna be able to eat what I want? Am I going to be feeling okay and healthy on a day-to-day basis? But as you talk to the care team, and every member of the process was fantastic. They were very communicative as well. They were very respectful, very transparent as well. As I went through it, they kind of highlight the risks, of course, and they want you to make an informed decision as a family and want to make sure there's no pressure from anybody. And I think that was really fantastic. For me, what was really challenging was that I had some issues with some of my blood work, and I needed to do a follow-up biopsy. So that's when they take a needle and they try to take a tissue sample from you. I had to go through that. It was extremely painful to the point where I was prone on the bed, and I actually still passed out and went unconscious from the pain and discomfort. But ultimately, they found out through the biopsy that I had IgA markers on my kidney as well, which essentially meant that I had the potential to develop the same autoimmune disorder that my brother has, and therefore I was not a candidate for a living donor. That was devastating, and not so much because I just felt like I had let my brother down, and that was really tough for me because he's a couple years older than me. Him and I have had a very strong, close relationship our entire lives, and I wanted to make a difference for him. I wanted to get him back to normal, and I know every member of my immediate family and our extended families as well, they were really pulling for this all to work out. And I think that one thing I should add is that we're all also the same blood type. We're both O negative, which, as I understand, was a tough match to get, especially as kin. So we were really, really looking forward to the possibility of that. It was unfortunate it didn't all work out. My brother persevered. He took care of his diet, his lifestyle, continued peritoneal dialysis, and him and his wife persevered through the sounds of the machine and all that. And ultimately, after about 2.5 years of dialysis, like I mentioned, in this past summer during COVID, he received a kidney transplant. And I think through that entire journey, I say we a lot because I feel like I'm in it together with him. I just wanted to get as involved as possible with anything to do with renal disease, with the Kidney Foundation, just however I can contribute in any way. It's been something that drives me in and out of my day-to-day, whether it's my working life or my personal relationships. It's just, how can we make lives better for people?
Wow, what a great statement to end on for Volunteer Week. I really appreciate that. And I really appreciate you highlighting the role that caregivers and loved ones play for kidney patients along the process. It really does take a superhero team of support. So thank you for that. Everyone, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Such an honor to be here and to welcome you to Green Shirt Day in the city of Port Coquitlam. I gotta get used to this too. Green Shirt Day in the city of Port Coquitlam. It was a real honor to proclaim officially that today is Green Shirt Day in the city of Port Coquitlam a couple of weeks ago at our council meeting. By making that proclamation, we're sending a message to our community, but right across the entire province and country, about the importance of organ and tissue donation, about the life-changing power and ability that we all have within us, an amazing gift that we're able to give. I'm really pleased to be joined by Councillor Nancy Makura, who herself is a living testament to the power of donation.
I am a 4-time cornea transplant recipient, and it's very hard when you find out when you're in your teens that someday you will be losing your sight.
And so I encourage you to talk to Nancy and hear her story. I have a request for everyone who's here. Make sure you tell someone about what happened today, because one of the most important things we can do is to get the word out. Just like Kathleen said, so many Canadians say they want to be part of organ and tissue donation, but too few of us are registered. So if you aren't, please register. If you are, share that you are. Let's make people aware of this and really build up support in our community and communities right across the country for this. So I just think that this is such a fitting tribute to Logan Boulet and the Humboldt Broncos. I know all of us had our hearts broken by that tragedy, but we were also called to action in the same way that Logan was called to action. And so I just couldn't be more pleased to see all the green here today. We're so humbled and honored to be able to host this in the city of Port Coquitlam. I want to offer my congratulations and thanks and appreciation to everyone who made this event happen, to the Canadian Transplant Association, to all of the partner groups and sponsors who make this event happen, not only in this city, but communities right across the country. So let's get back to skating and make sure, again, you share the good news about what we did here today with someone. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Let it be the first thing. Let it be the first thing. Let it be the first thing. When you come home to me. When you come home to me. Kiss me like you did when we were first in love. That I'm the air you breathe and couldn't live without. Let it be the first thing. The first thing. Let it be the first thing. The first thing. Let it be the first thing. The first thing. When you come home to me. When you come home to me.
Did you guys have fun skating today? What
Yes.
was your favorite part about it?
My favorite part is what we had fun.
What's your favorite part? What's your favorite part?
I don't know.
Let it be the first thing. The first thing. Let it be the first thing. The first thing. Let it be the first thing. The first thing. When you come home to me.
Oh, goodness, can I help you there? Awesome. Good work.
Let it be the first thing. The first thing. Let it be the first thing. The first thing. Let it be the first thing. The first thing. When you come home to me.
Hi everyone, welcome back for Volunteer Week as we continue our conversation with Eric. So now that we've covered the personal side, let's talk a little bit about what you wanted to specifically bring from your personal, professional experience to the KFOC as a volunteer.
I've been in healthcare for approximately 7 years now, and I've had a variety of roles from data analysis and collection to briefing notes to strategic consultation to where I'm at today. And right now I'm working very closely with physician providers in Fraser Health. And throughout my journey in healthcare, we've always had, everybody talks about a patient-centered healthcare system. And what I've always been driving in any level of role and any involvement I have been is how do we always put patients first? And that's part of what draws me to the Kidney Foundation so much, is any opportunity we have to give patients a voice and their involvement in the healthcare system, and to strengthen that, I would love to be involved in. I'd love to really give that voice and advocacy to the patient. So I'd say the tie-ins from my professional side of my life is really working with clinicians and ensuring that everybody's thinking, like, what is our North Star here? And our North Star is how do patients get the best care they deserve in a timely way, and the experience of all parties involved is strong. And I think it's a lofty goal. It's a tough goal for us to achieve as a healthcare system and everybody that's involved in it. But it's one we should never lose sight of, because that's why we're here as a healthcare system.
100%. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. So why don't you tell me about your first experience with the Kidney Foundation?
Yeah, I think it was around 2015 or 16. And my brother, again, we were just brainstorming how we can get involved. And he's like, hey, there's a kidney walk coming up. And we're like, well, we should do that. We should get involved as much as we can. And I think it was, I can't remember the exact years, either 15, 16, or 17, and somewhere around there, where he had been discharged from hospital and he was on dialysis. And I remember we got the t-shirts, we did fundraising, we reached out to our networks, and obviously wanting to just spread the word of renal disease and what we can do to help. And I think the Kidney Foundation obviously leading that and giving some documentation and kind of resources and the descriptions of how to talk about this with people, I think was really helpful. And we're thinking, hey, this is a great organization. And when we got to the walk, I remember that day, we were sporting our t-shirts, we're all happy about it. And we started to talk to people that were volunteers as well as staff of the Kidney Foundation. And people were really friendly, people were really engaged, they were very passionate about what they were doing. Some of the things I was talking about earlier. And I was thinking, I want to get involved with this group, and I want to just anything I can do. So I started to just say, hey, like, are there any opportunities for me to get involved? Is there any committee work or just any advocacy or anything like that? And conversations kind of organically started to further along, and here I am today.
Got bitten by the volunteer bug.
Exactly, yes. Just want to give back any way we can.
So on that note, how do you volunteer with the Kidney Foundation right now?
Right now I'm a member of the strategy committee, and I've been holding that role since approximately 2020, yeah.
And what do you do as part of that role?
So the strategy committee, there's a number of us from a variety of different professional backgrounds, and we bring our brains together and we talk about some of the operational directives that are part of the current Kidney Foundation branch of BC and Yukon, and how it aligns with the national foundation. And there are a number of different initiatives that we would like to run to ensure that we meet our vision and the mission, the values that we want to portray to the public, and we want to be able to advocate for the public. And it's really just ensuring that we have context and different perspectives on the different objectives that the lovely staff such as Ramya are able to work towards. So we're trying to provide, again, we have different walks of life that we bring to the strategy committee. So we're just trying to give different lens to make sure, are the directives and the initiatives that we're taking on, are they meeting patient needs, and are we advocating for the patients? That
sounds like very exciting and rewarding work.
Yeah, it's been great so far, and I've really appreciated, and as I mentioned this a couple times, the different walks of life, and I think that's something I've always appreciated in different professional or volunteer experiences I've had, is just learning from people, because we all see life a little bit differently. We've all had different experiences, and for a lot of the people that are involved, they have a lot of really close experiences, whether themselves or family members or friends that have gone through renal disease or transplant. So hearing their stories and the amount of passion they bring to it, I think is really invigorating for me. And I feel very fortunate to be on this committee and being able to contribute how I can.
Well, I know that we feel very fortunate, Eric, to have you on the committee, your background, your experience. So thank you for that. And what are your thoughts or advice to viewers who might be considering volunteering but haven't taken that step as of yet?
Just get started. I think that's the biggest message that I would try to convey, is that there are multiple levels of involvement. There's multiple levels of volunteering, and ultimately it's if the passion is there, and say again you have a loved one or a close contact or something like that has any involvement with kidney disease or kidney, just anything to do with kidneys, I think whether you want to be on the street talking to the general public and raising awareness, whether you want to be developing the materials that are part of that and contributing in any way you can, lending that kind of patient voice, or whether you want to be involved at a so-called higher level on strategic discussions. I think depending on what skill set you can bring, all that matters is your effort, all that matters is your heart behind it, and how much you want to be able to contribute. I think, again, just get involved.
Everything makes a difference for sure. Thank you for being a part of today.
Thank you.
We're here at Poco Recreation Center on Green Shirt Day, and as they say, the house is a-rockin'. There's green all over the ice, and we're going to catch some of these enthusiastic participants as they get off the ice and ask them what Green Shirt Day means to them. Okay, Mayor Brad West, what does this all mean to you today, coming out supporting Green Shirt Day?
It's a really special day in Port Coquitlam, and we're really honored to be able to host this event. You know, we've all heard stories about the life-saving power of organ and tissue donation. We may know someone, maybe someone in our family, maybe a friend. And I think it's so important that we just raise awareness and spread the word, because we know many Canadians say they want to be an organ or tissue donor, but too few of us are registered. And so, you know, it's not only us registering ourselves, it's telling people that we're doing that and spreading the word. And that awareness is what's going to really make change. So we're pretty excited to have this day here today in Poco.
Hi, Liam. Are you having fun out there today?
Yeah.
Now, do you usually get out and skate? I hear you're a hockey player.
Yes.
And so it was pretty cool skating around. I think you could show us a few moves, maybe. We can get you on camera showing us a few moves. Would that be good? Oh, he's taking off. Mayor West, it's actually a family event for you today. We got your son Liam here on the ice. And as you were saying, the importance of this in letting your family know. Can you say a last few words?
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to bring Liam out today so he can start to learn about Green Shirt Day and learn about the Logan Boulet effect, and learn about the importance of organ and tissue donation. And that's what we should be doing. We should be, educating our kids. We should be raising awareness in the community. And so I hope everyone who's had fun here today is going to spread the word and tell a friend or family member about what a great time they had, and more importantly, tell them about how important this work is and what a difference it can make in the lives of our fellow Canadians.
Well, thanks so much for the time, and I know Liam's waiting for you to join him out there on the ice, so we won't keep you any longer. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
What does coming out in support of Green Shirt Day mean to you, Chief?
Coming out to support Green Shirt Day means a lot. It touches my heart to be able to be invited and to come and participate in it, and to also share a few words in my endangered language dialect Hunkaminam, and then my translations, and giving everybody a nice traditional welcome. And the whole meaning behind the green shirt too is it's such a life-giving, life-changing event for people to make that important decision if they're able to become a donor, and to help those who are in receive of those donation lungs and major organs. It's a wonderful thing, and the whole thing, when it all started, it's been ongoing for many generations, but what it really comes to light is when there was the accident out on the prairies with the hockey club. It's nice to see, some good positive that came from that, and my heart goes out to all of the families. And going forward, it's a great thing to be able to make that decision to donate and able to save someone else that might not otherwise have a chance, and make a difference. Thank you.
Hi, Marianne. Oh my gosh, we saw you out there on the ice, and here you are. The importance of coming out and supporting Green Shirt Day to you today.
Oh, it's a huge thing for my family. I have multiple members who are organ recipients and donors, and so it's just a big day, and just again, community involvement and just getting the word out about organ donation, and a fun way to spend the afternoon.
It was so much fun out there. And that must have meant a lot to you to see such a great turnout when you've got this personal association and you know personally the importance of organ donation.
Absolutely, it was, totally. We just need to, as a community, I'm so glad that Port Coquitlam did the proclamation for this, and that the ice rink has supported this to happen for today. It's fantastic, it's great. The more word we get out there about organ donation, the better.
Hi, Luigi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great, and it's a wonderful day. Green Shirt Day, you're wearing your green proudly.
Brand new one.
And you were out there showing us some moves. What does it mean for you to be here today for Green Shirt Day?
It's a pleasure and an honor to be part of the organization. We do have a brother-in-law that had a double lung transplant, and he's still a survivor.
So you're with Canadian Transplant Association?
Yes.
You must be pleased with the turnout today.
More than I think we anticipated, apparently.
Well, thanks so much, and we'll see you next year for Green Shirt Day.
We'll see you next year. Bye-bye.
Good afternoon, and thank you so much for coming today, and it meant the world to me. Myself, I have lived experience. I am a 4-time cornea transplant recipient, and it's very hard when you find out when you're in your teens that someday you will be losing your sight. And I cannot thank the anonymous donors that have given me this gift of life. Often we talk about the major organs that people donate, but I am living testimony that also the tissues are things that can live on in people and make a tremendous difference in their lives. Seeing everyone skate, it's just a way that we can keep amplifying the message for people to register and become organ and tissue donators, and do it today. It's Green Shirt Day, and I'm looking so forward to next year when we're going to have more skaters out on the ice. The Canadian Transplant Association has really made a difference, and it's a first here in Port Coquitlam. We're going to get more people out on the rink. Thank you for your time, and thank you for coming today.
Kathleen, the event is wrapped up for today. You must be so pleased. What a great turnout.
It was fabulous. It was beyond what I thought it was going to be. We had wonderful representation from the community, great support from the city of Port Moody, including Mayor Brad West and First Nations Chief of the Coquitlam Nation. Ed Hall was here lending his support, and one of the councillors, Nancy, who's had a cornea transplant and is so grateful. And the energy, it just filled my heart that everybody was so happy to be here and contributed and spreading the message. So thank you everybody for coming and attending to this. Perfect way to celebrate Green Shirt Day.
And the messaging today in the opening welcome was about sharing the word, spreading the word about the need for people to register to be organ donors. Last words from you, Kathleen.
Exactly. It was about spreading the word, and that. Thank you for reminding me about that. Mayor Brad West was very good about bringing that story forth and saying it's when cities get together and communities gather that conversation can happen. Because one of the things they say that for every person who registers, they tell 4 people. And you get 100,000 people registering, you have 400,000 conversations. And that's what we saw happening today. So we're very appreciative of that, because I think we're going to have that conversation as we've talked about. And in registrations, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in the next few weeks after these events, and that our registrations will increase as a consequence. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out today to Green Shirt Day. It was a wonderful event. We spread the word. The conversation was started. We appreciate everybody taking the time to come here and sign their donor card.